I'm going to conclude with two poems. One called Nothing Relents, which I'll read first, and which is a pell-mell poem which goes from the first line almost to the last line without stopping. Nothing relents. Given, oh, less by far to love than to my dead, it is, I know, the soul's defilement, and joyous beyond touch, or body lightly borne, the doors of the house thrown open onto the great lawn, alive with the shadows of birds that day long grow into blue mists and fogs, no less than those which cover my simple dead with so long darkness. It is that the planet is sodden and the gardens fail smothered by rain, that the corn yellows, the squash vines are rank and infertile, roots eaten away, that there is a burgeoning of weeds, dandelions bleeding like milk, pigweeds, hairy mulleins, that the apple is black with scab and the grass in 3 days ankle high, and this after the thinnest of winters, that I scrape at green and blue moles everywhere and my spade breaks through into the muddy cisterns of the earth, that we had been eating and drinking together when the flood came suddenly to cover us, that this is true. It is true that the river broke the graveyard dikes and burst in rapids on the headstones, peeling back the flowered turfs and earths, and the dead, arisen from their graves, walked upright on the thick flood downstream to subside into the delta and drift heaps of their bones, that we have not found them yet who walked on water, not all of them, that some hide from us still. Nothing relents, and what if the world is a horrible fit, a knot or spasm in the sky's entrails? For Christ that the child died is beyond belief, beyond all suffering that he was named, and I that morning in the kitchen reached a book down careful of noise, but he slept beyond all reach. And sometimes that comes upon me to such rage as now I am torn by the alarums of my own voice, to cry out into the dazzle of thy high noon, O God, such anger festers in the tree, the flood, the stone, such bile and storm surge in the root, and beasts in the foul walls race, the planet bursting, swelled with ripeness, fat with fatness, open to the light, and I, like a blind grub, twisting in the light mandibles, wide in spasm, the cold tail is falling back, and in the chasm squirming, once thinking I too would die, old, unfellowed and alone, the sky a black heave over the house, thunder withholding itself and crows in dense flight. I, liar, vessel of fury, vengeance seeker, destroyer, swore then and now to lie among all name-proud, wrathful men in the dusts and stinking shades of the house, in the midst of this fall of things stable in rage, for that he was ever named and slept, for that but discomposed, for ghosts still commonly walk and are seen, white things fearful of light, while this beast here is nourished and has excrements. The flood falls therefore back into itself. The lawn dries and darkens with birds. It suits the dead to rest beyond all reach. What feeds therefore among us on the drowned carcasses of moles, hides in the mud, digs like a legged worm into the wet-haired bellies of its beasts, inhabits us, foul comb and hive, seething with famished larvae? The airs of our dead are resonant, and beneath the garden soils is a breathable air. What feeds on us? Our scalps crawl.